Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our America's Cup Center here at Pier 80. And I wanted to make some further announcements in light of the discussion that's been happening in our city on our America's Cup event that's happening and starting this year and will definitely happen in 2013 as well. I'm here with Stephen Barkley, who's the head of the event authority. And Stephen, again, thank you to you and thank you to Jen and Mike and our team in working together intensely for months, and in particular the last few weeks as we put together the development agreement that is part of the investments that the America's Cup and the Oracle racing team and the event authority have been working with the city on. The last couple of weeks, I've been not only a key participant with members of the Board of Supervisors, but also engaged between our staffs and the event authority and Oracle Racing Team staff to try to get to all of the complex agreements that have to do with all of the investments. And I will say that in light of those discussions, and some of which have been written extensively from all of you, I started getting the feeling that people were forgetting how fun this race is going to be for our city, and started talking about not only the complexities of planning and permits and investments and returns on investments. And I even had some people started mentioning this dreaded word lawsuits that had started creeping up. And I wanted to really get back to the focus. The focus has always been that we would work with our event authority and with the Oracle Racing Team to present one of the best, most interesting and dynamic international races that this country's seen, and to get back that excitement and not get so bogged down in all of these conversations that have been having, particularly in the last couple of weeks. And so we've been working over the weekend intensely to make sure that the event and the purpose of the event continues to ring forward with everybody who had begun in this excitement and continues to be. And so we're announcing today that in light of the complexities that have presented themselves and the drawn out discussions that we have worked out some agreements, some changes that'll make it less complex and therefore get back to the origins of it. The race is still reconfirmed here, but we also want to let you know that we have agreed that the Piers 30 and 32 will no longer be, at least for this event, immediate discussions for development for it, that we will consolidate all of the teams right here at Pier 80 for this event, beginning this year and through next year. And I think that will help with the conversation, certainly with the level of investments that have been anticipated to repair 30 and 32. We won't really be needing those, and we figured that out over some good conversations we had this weekend. And I think it'll bring us back to the origins. And I want to emphasize that in this decision not to have 3032 be a part of this at this time, and it's at this time, I emphasize that the consolidation will take place here of all the teams, but that we will still have and continue. In fact, tomorrow, as I'm promised, some of the walls around the shed at Pier 27 will be coming down as part of the investment and continued investment in building the James Herman cruise ship terminal at Pier 27. That will continue forthright in that time frame. But I want to get everybody back to the very good time frame that we want to have for this year and early next year on the races that will happen on our bay, and that we're committed to those time frames. We didn't want any further distractions from that, and that we'll be working out, and we've been working with our port. We've been working with the members of the Board of Supervisors who have all been notified about this recent change, and give ourselves some adequate time to adjust to those changes and make sure we focus back on all of the things that have to be done to get this race ready. Mr. Ellison, I was in conversation with him about an hour ago, and he's just as enthusiastic about getting this race started. He expects to win. I expect him to win this race, and we will look at other parts of our port and piers as to how we can do future investments and entice private investors to come in and make sure that we can repair some very valuable parts of our pier. But I will begin by saying, again, thank you to all of the members of our event authority. I know Lucy's here as well, and a number of people. Carrie McClellan's here helping us raise the private dollars here. And again, thank you to Stephen Barkley and your wonderful team in working with us. This wonderful event with the boats, and we start with the ACEA 45s coming this summer. We'll continue on that time frame. And the building, as you've seen here, although I can't let you into the very secretive rooms that are still housing the building of the larger boats and their technology here, but we will have those races continue on the time frame that had been announced in the past, and will continue being announced and being the time frames that we meet. So that's really the immediate news. But I want to reconfirm, we expect to have these races continue. We expect to draw in a large number of people all over the Bay Area, and if not nationally and internationally, to see this race. It continues to be a race that will blend the new technology of how you view the race, how the boats are re-technologed with information coming from the boats and from the racers themselves. And as well as welcome in the new generation that will be able to see this race for the first time from the shores and from the waterfronts, from Crissy Field, in new ways that have yet to be announced, and not getting ahead of ourselves. But that will also involve the new generation of people that will appreciate the fast sailing sport and the youth that we think will be excited about not only this race, but future races to come. This is where we wanted to be. This is where we want to continue reconfirming the excitement that this has for our city as a city that not only is dependent, but thrives on its tourism and on events of international stature as this America's Cup 34 is all about. I look forward to getting on one of those AC 45. Stephen, I think you've convinced me. I've got to get on one of those to feel the speed on it, and it will happen very shortly. And making sure I have all my insurance in place first before I do that. Otherwise, I wanted to give Mr. Barkley a chance to comment on this changes, but also reconfirm all of the things that we're doing to make this race successful. Steve.
Thank you, Mayor Lee. I think the thing that I'd like to get across from the event authority's point of view is the timeframes we were working to were always aggressive. We had a year-long construction project on Piers 3032, as you'll probably all be aware, and we compressed that into 9 months. When we sort of looked at where we were at, looked where the city was at, looked where ourselves were at, etc., we collectively came to a decision that maybe this is the best way. And to those people that do know the intricate details of the planning for the 34th America's Cup, you will know that Pier 80 was always the contingency plan for the teams to base themselves here in 2013, just as they're going to base themselves here this year in 2012. So I think with this behind us, we can really focus on the event, it being a fantastic sailing event in the bay, first time it's ever been done like that before, and we're really looking forward to it.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
So we're going to take a few questions here, and then we'll break, and various staff and the mayor will be available in smaller groups. So if there are a couple questions? Yeah. Sure. We have one here.
Have you scaled down your expectations of the economic benefit as well?
No, I think that the race, as presented, will continue drawing what we expect to have, some 500,000 people on a daily basis come in here. I think the races are just still planned the way they are, and so we expect the Bay Area to really receive some $1 billion of economic impact, positive impact from the races, and so we're building on that. Still the complexities of everything from the transportation plan to housing and of people here, to even this weekend I was working on a taxi hackathon and getting ideas about how taxis can make sure that they're servicing all of the different visitors that we expect to be here for the event. So we are fully expecting the economic impact to be as great as it's been.
So Mayor, to follow up on that though, the construction jobs that will, potential construction jobs at Piers 3032 that are going to be lost, and how many jobs would that have been?
Well, I don't have all the details there, but obviously the immediate development of 3032 is going to there won't be those jobs there because we're not going to be developing those. Now, does that mean it's forever lost? I don't think so. You know, those piers are ones that I think are very attractive to future development. We'll have those discussions in the near future with our port and their planning for this. It is not forever removed, but I think for this race at this time, I believe that it helps with going forward with consolidating everybody here and making sure that the race is the primary focus and the time frames that we want to have a successful race on it.
Does it shave off the investment that you have to make not to Piers 3032, and is there investment that has to be done in this neighborhood to accommodate standards?
The scope of the project at 3032 was really to refurbish those piers. That's gone now. I think that the published numbers were $80 million. You can see what one team, the Oracle Racing team, has done down here in this area. I think the current number is a couple of $1 million that have been spent here already. There's 80 people working here. Last count, I think there's 24 local hire people from this neighbourhood and around this neighbourhood that are here just with one team. So, you know, really I personally see this being replicated along this pier. We'll also need to look at how, I don't think this will fit all the teams. We'll need to look at also putting some of the teams possibly on the end of Piers 27 and 29, where the event village will be. That was always the plan. From the authorities' point of view, we really see little change other than we are moving the teams from Piers 3032 down to here. Probably the biggest change is if someone wanted to walk from the village to the team bases to Pit Road, now they'll need to get on Muni or something to come and look at Pit Road down here.
Mayor, I was just wondering about the San Francisco International Arts Festival. They've been making a lot of noise about how the city and you are not meeting and sitting down and trying to cooperate with them, trying to bring this arts festival at the same time that the America's Cup is going on. What's your response to that? Have you made any inroads concerning that?
Well, I don't think we've ever rejected any idea. In fact, I think we've been quite excited about the integration of art throughout all of our big events, and so I don't see us delaying any discussions around it. If they feel that, I'll definitely get in touch with them. But I don't see it as being a barrier at all to the race.
They sent you a letter. They wanted to talk about funding, and that you haven't responded to them yet.
Well, when everybody asks me for funding, I take a little bit more time responding because I don't have a whole lot in my pocket.
We're going to break, and we'll be available for questions. Thanks.
Thank you.